Hello, amazing souls. Do you ever find yourself doubting that gut feeling and second guessing your every choice? Or maybe feeling disconnected from your spirit guides? If you're nodding along, you've landed in the right place. Welcome to the Soul Vibe Insights Podcast. I'm Maddie Hollingsworth.
And I'm Emily Pearl. We're all about demystifying soul energy, emotional awareness, developing your intuition, and the Akashic Records. We're here to make these powerful tools accessible on your journey of self-discovery.
So pull up a chair, relax your vibe, and let's jump right into today's show. Hello, amazing souls, and welcome to today's show. We've been talking a lot about the Akashic Records lately and the wonderful transformations you can have, the knowledge that you can glean from being in the records, deep diving into the things that have you stuck and doubting your intuition and the unresolved emotions and just so many cool things and unexpected ways that the Akashic Records have transformed our lives and how they can help you transform yours and bring more healing and meaningful experiences into your life. And today we wanted to talk about the records, but leave that stuff behind and get into experiencing the feels of the Akashic Records.
What does it feel like?
Exactly. What's it like being there? What sensations do we get? What comes over our body, not just in our mind and emotions. So we want to dive into the experience of these feelings that we get in the records.
Yeah, what does it feel like to be inside of the Akashic Records? It's a really cool experience. I'm really excited. We're going to lead people there in our class coming up.
Yeah, beta launches in 10 days.
3/13.
Full lunar eclipse.
Yeah, it said it was the third. I saw it on Facebook. I haven't fact checked it though to make sure, but it said it was the night of the 13th going into the 14th. So there's going to be some really awesome energy because the first class is on the full lunar eclipse, and then the third class is going to be on the spring equinox. So the energy is going to be high.
Yeah, and I
already feel it like ramping up. I can feel like moving into it.
Yeah, totally.
Like the energy starting to ramp. I'm constantly like sweating from my armpits because that's what happens when I have like heightened energy. Anytime like I go to the records or anytime I have like anxiety or, excitement anxiety, it's like, maybe that's TMI.
Those little butterflies that I get in the stomach because I'm like so excited about what's coming. Yeah, absolutely. I know what you're talking about. My body heat rises.
You never sweat from your armpits?
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. I know what you're talking about.
We're like, extra deodorant, please.
All right, so let's dive right in, y'all.
Yeah, on that note, is there any life update that we should share?
Other than we haven't been out dancing in a little while, and we're about to do that this weekend.
So excited.
See some friends in Denver and go shake our heinies. Oh my goodness, I'm ready to cut loose and leave everything at the door and just be on the dance floor with you and our buddies.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that too. Some loud music pumping in my ears, just getting lost in it. And it's going to be good music too. DJ Poolside. I'm really excited.
Yeah, this will be a first time experience seeing Poolside. So that'll be cool.
Live, yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Other than that, we're just in Colorado, loving on sweet Aspen puppy that we have pretty much. She's our adopted dog daughter until her parents come home and we have to leave her with them.
Yeah, she is our little precious honey, my little snuggle bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is our life update right now. Just plugging along, getting ready for our class. Gonna go dance this weekend and playing with our puppy friend. Well, she's 9, not a puppy, but all dogs are puppies, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, I don't care how old they are.
Their entire life.
Yeah, they're just puppies.
All right, so what does the Akashic Records feel like to be inside of it?
First off, before we venture into the Akashic Records, our journey always begins with spiritual protection. And we utilize divine energy, call in a co-pilot, clear our own energy field, and set up our aura with protections. Because you're going to be journeying through the astral realms. You're shifting your consciousness. You're going into different dimensions. It's a good idea to be clean and clear and just taking the essence of your truth with you and not carrying any energetic baggage along, and to protect yourself from picking up any astral debris and whatnot on your flight.
Yeah, luckily our first mentor, Anastasia, was very adamant about spiritual protection. And she started off, everything that she taught us with the importance of it. And we really took that to heart. And we really appreciate how adamant she was about it because, other people that we know that work in the Akashic Records, they don't always use spiritual protection. And I mean, I can't say exactly like if they're picking this up or that, but, we always hear stories about different things that they encounter that we do not because we have this very strong spiritual protection ceremony. I don't know. How would you say it? Method?
Just a little method, little ritual that we do, just 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's the whole reason we designed Navigating Spiritual Protection with a Divine Copilot course. So anybody can use these practices. I mean, it completely changed my energetic game. I've been practicing Reiki for like 15, 16 years before we started training with Anna and learned these methods. And I feel really powerful on moving energy using my Reiki skills. But this changed my game on how to ground myself, how to clear myself, to not get those big rushes of energy, which feel good, but then you come crashing down afterwards. So it just really helps regulate everything, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, same for me. I was also practicing Reiki for a very long time and massage therapy. And had I known about these practices, it would have helped me so much. I mean, I was so exhausted all the time. There's no telling the kind of stuff that I was picking up. I mean, I would give people massages and my entire body would just ache. I mean, everything. Like, wherever I would be working on them, my body would ache as well. And I would just have to, like, push through the pain to make it through. And I really feel like if I had these practices at that time, then I wouldn't have experienced it that way.
I'm sure it would have been a lot different for you, knowing what we know now and the experiences that we have now.
I mean, right towards the end of my massage career, I was calling in Archangel Michael to help clear the energy at the end of the session, but I didn't know about calling in divine energy pre-session in order to actually like help lead the session and help me like help hold my energy during the session. That would have just been such a game changer. Okay.
So
we're talking about the Akashic Records.
And the first feeling is to get yourself in a place of balance, to be clear and ready to go to this vast database of all knowledge of the universe, but more specifically, all knowledge of your own soul. So the first feel is to achieve balance and to go in free and clear. Going to the records it's an intentional thing. So this also helps us to set the intention that we're wanting to head here because we're taking just a few minutes to clear our energy and set that up. And then we use a prayer method or a series of words to open up the connection. Again, this is just intention, setting up your consciousness. There are many different prayers out there. There's not just one that can access the record. So this is an intentional thing. And I think of that as kind of like the passcode for logging on into the Akashic realm, if you will. First thing for me that I experience after, we've gone through the prayer and I know that I'm entering the records is I feel like I'm in a meditative like state. I feel like the energy clearing kind of sets that up, that balance. And, for me personally, I just feel meditative. And I have a feeling if you're listening to this, you've probably explored meditation or have an idea of what meditation's like and, relaxing your body.
Yeah, but I think it's important to just point out that, yes, you are in this meditative state, but you're still very aware. It's not like you're, laying on the couch or sitting with your eyes closed. I mean, we've had people ask us, like, can we communicate while we're in the Akashic Records? Yeah, Maddie and I can speak to each other. We can make coffee if we want or get some water or have a snack. It's not like, you're just in a meditative state to where you can't move or anything like that. but it's really more about the feeling in your body. Like your parasympathetic nervous system really takes hold and really relaxes your body.
Yeah, I didn't mean to imply that I was in a meditative like state on the couch with my eyes closed. It's more that kind of feeling that I get in my body. I'm very relaxed, but definitely still very alert, probably even more alert than I am when I'm not there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely feel like that's true.
Yeah.
Definitely more alert. And it takes a tremendous amount of energy to hold your consciousness within the Akashic Records.
Which is another reason going with some divine energy really helps a lot, because that's unlimited energy and you're associating yourself with that and not just putting it all on yourself and your own energy field that can become depleted.
So while it is a meditative state, you are using this tremendous amount of energy to be there, be in this higher state of consciousness. And I mean, I feel like my metabolism speeds up. I know you said that you thought maybe you're slowed down, but I mean, I feel like we get starving when we're in the records. And when we used to work in the records for long periods of time doing the soul journey reports, when we were first learning, so it would take a lot longer. We would have to like eat a snack in the middle because our stomachs would start growling like crazy.
Yeah, I think my note was just off. When I saw you make your note that you feel like your metabolism speeds up, I was like, oh yeah. I totally used the wrong word you can't read our notes if you're listening to us, but I had my note as that my metabolism slowed down a bit. But Emily's definitely correct. It speeds up because there are times that I hop in, I'm there for 15 or 30 minutes doing some quick things I'm checking in on. Or like Emily mentioned, when we're doing our soul journey readings, those are super in-depth and wildly cool soul personality, like deeply profound readings. And you can't do the reading just in one quick visit. I mean, we would both go in and sometimes be there for 6 or 8 hours and then need to go back the next day or the day after and do more research in the records to compile all this information. And Emily's right. You be there for a couple of hours and the next thing I know, I'm like, oh my goodness. My belly's like, rawr, 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 what are you doing? Not hungry. And we would have to like get a snack.
Is that what your belly sounds like?
Yeah, that's exactly what my belly sounds like. I find I like coffee a lot. If I know that I'm going to be in the records for a while, I like making a cup of coffee. Somehow it just kind of helps the physicality of it, being tied over. But totally, being in the records, your metabolism speeds up just a touch. And if you're there a while, you may all of a sudden have a feeling of big hunger or big thirst. I find that where I'm just like, have I even drank water? How long have I been here? I can kind of lose track of some of that. Your body still does its thing. It's in linear time, but your consciousness is in divine time, which is all now. But your body's here like, hello, I'm still going through my operations and functions and I need some help. It's time to eat.
And so this next one was one that surprised me that I was not expecting whatsoever. And it's the feeling of expansion. Literally like your mind becomes enormous. And all of your thoughts and all of your emotions and, all the junk that you're feeling or the happy. I mean, it's not all junk, but, all the thoughts that are streaming through your mind, it's like they just kind of dissipate or just disappear. I mean, I guess that's kind of the same thing. They just kind of dissipate out into this like huge open space. They come back when you're not in the records anymore, but it really is like that. Like I was not expecting that aspect of it when we first started working in the records. And it feels really nice, especially if you are someone with a defined ajna and has the constant stream of thoughts. That's a human design term. We'll probably be getting more into that soon, but some people are meant to have constant stream of thoughts, and that is correct for them, and some people are not.
Like you can't turn it off no matter what. You're just always thinking about something, and here comes the thoughts. I'm one of those defined ajna people.
Yep.
And it's wonderful to go to the records and just feel like, I know those thoughts can still happen, but I feel free. Now, that's it. It's like free of it. It's like my mind just expanded by 1,000,000 times, and those thoughts are happening, but it's not affecting the entirety of my mind. Like, I'm in the records now and I'm focused on something else, and it's so much more like calming and open for what I'm going to focus on and the questions I'm asking and the research I'm doing and the answers I'm getting and the guidance that I'm going through. And occasionally a thought like that might enter my mind, but
Yeah,
it's
but it's
kind
like
of off
off
to
in
the
the
side.
distance.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Like, it's out in left field. And I'm like at home plate or something, it's just way out there and I'm here. And it's freeing. It really is, that feeling of expansion. And keep in mind, when you're going to the records, your consciousness is accessing the database of the universe of everything that is. And in our linear time, it's everything that was, everything that is, and everything that potentially could be. That's infinity moving forward. I mean, just think about everything that is the history of just Earth, not even the universe. Like, you're connecting to this potential. And now you're dealing with everything that's going on now and everything that could be, all the infinite amount of choices you could make and actions you could do for the rest of your life. All those possibilities are there. It's wild, y'all. I mean, it is massive, the amount of data that is available to you. And that's why it's important to go in and select your own record and start to limit that down a little bit too when you're diving in up there. The expansion is wild and it's very freeing.
Yeah, I agree.
As I'm talking, I'm like, gosh, there's a time in my life I might have thought that was overwhelming. And now I'm like excited talking about it because I know how freeing the feeling is being there in that expansion.
Well, and I think we used to seek out that feeling in other ways. Maybe not as
healthy.
Definitely not as healthy. Maddie and I both have had very experimental lives.
Yeah, we talked about that, I think, in the last show, about experimentation.
But I think that's something that very much hits home. I think to a degree everyone has experimental lives, but I don't know if it's all to the degree of extremes that you and I have. Maybe not.
I'm sure there are people that have experimented less and there are people that have experimented more, but I feel like you and I both are on the heavier side of experimentation for a lifetime, for sure, which is a good segue into the next point. Is I feel quite often, not every single time, but quite often, especially, it almost feels like it precipitates a really high energy experience, like healing that's about to take place or some really super deep knowledge, like that's going to shift my perspective. Not every time I go to the Akashic Records does it change my life or change my perspective or awareness. I do get information and helps me make decisions and stuff. And then there are other times that are profound for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that just tied so much together. I just got guidance in the way that made all these puzzle pieces fit together. And there's the middle piece that brings it all. There's the picture now for me, and
Yeah.
I feel like especially before these moments, because I don't know they're coming. I can't see the future. I can get to the records and work with the possibilities of the future, the potentialities. But I get this feeling, this light head change. It's almost like an anticipatory feeling or a coming up of sorts. And if you've ever experimented with psychedelics in your life, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that right before it hits feeling.
Yep. You have ingested a substance and you're kind of waiting on the effects to kick in, and it's, as Emily says, right before, and you're just kind of, you got that tingle twinge. You can tell, like, I'm here, but something's about to be different. I think
Well, you
I'm
stay
glad I
right
like
there.
this. But you stay right there.
Stay in the coming up stage.
Yep.
You don't, and there is no come down. I mean, because of the large amount of energy, you may experience, a little bit of tiredness, especially if you spend hours and hours and hours and hours in the records. But yeah, you don't have the hangover. When you take a psychedelic, you're like, all right, I've spent hours like this, and then the come down is, a whole other journey.
Yeah. But in this case, you just kind of stay in that anticipatory, slight head change feeling. And it's nice. It's just another sign that I'm on the wavelength of the Akashic field. And it's all about to happen. It's just this exciting anticipatory feeling that I have. And like I said, it precipitates usually reading for a very old soul whose soul energy is powerful or about to get a huge divine data download, or up-leveling my own knowledge and awareness around my soul's purpose. Putting all those puzzle pieces together, it just seems like Kapowie's about to happen.
Wow, you just brought that around for me because I did want to go back to one thing you said, and then you just brought it back around, having no idea that I was going to come back to it. But puzzle pieces, it is a lot like that. Like when you are getting the information for your life, I mean, it always seems, a little bit more difficult when it's your own life because you're so attached to it and you may have all these outcomes that you're looking for or expectations for the way that you want your life to go. But gaining information is a lot like putting together a puzzle. And sometimes, you'll get this piece of information and you're trying to ask all these questions around it, trying to get more clarity, and it's like you're getting nowhere. The pendulum literally will start doing weird things. You could hold the pendulum and you would try to make it act a certain way, and you would never be able to make it act a certain way. And then occasionally when you're getting these weird questions, your pendulum just starts doing weird things.
And when Emily's talking about pendulum, I mean, typically yes or no or swinging in one direction back and forth. So it's more of a straight line. And we're talking about circles and figure eights and oblong shapes being made or just shaking.
That's the weirdest one. When you're sitting there and you're literally, my arm is moving, but my pendulum is staying completely straight and it's just shaking like tiny little shakes. It's the craziest thing. But anyway, so you're basically getting nowhere with your follow-up questions, essentially. And then life happens. And then something in your external world, when you're just out living life, it clicks in that piece of information that you have. And then it's it takes you to this next level of understanding whatever it was you were trying to understand in the records. And then you can go back into the records and then gain more clarity about it after that. It's you have to understand something in your external world before you can get that next little nugget of information.
It's almost like you're not quite ready.
Yeah.
And you have to experience something in as the human that we are here, having our human experience.
Or you wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know this other thing yet. Or you haven't met that person that says that one phrase that is that totally makes sense now. So it's pretty cool. And, if you hate puzzles, this may not be the time to work for you. But if you are able to stay open and enjoy putting the puzzle pieces together, then it can be very rewarding.
Very
life-changing.
rewarding. Yeah. So another really cool aspect, I think, if you're ready to move on.
Very cool.
You're basically, you may not feel it the entire time you're there, but you're kind of in this time warp or time bubble. Because we, as our human existence, we're in linear time, but you're going to divine timing with your consciousness. Divine timing is just all is now. There is no delineation between past, present, or future. It just is. Life just is. It's all happening now. But we're coming from experiencing past, present, and future. So while you're in, it's all just now, man. Linear time is moving forward. So minutes and hours and days are going, well, I've never been in the records for a whole day, but minutes and hours are going by. And you're just there and now. And you can sometimes literally feel like you exit the records and it's what? I was just there for half an hour and it's 5 hours later. It can totally feel like that sometimes. It's a weird warp, or you go in and can experience I'm just going in and I just have these 5 questions I want to get guidance on, and it take an hour and a half. I just get lost. And I don't even realize that I'm just floating and thinking and feeling and asking my 5 questions, but it can take me that long when the plan was just, this should just be a really quick thing. So this time warp happens where you don't even realize because it's all just now. I hope that's making sense for y'all.
Yeah, it always seemed like 3 hours. Yeah, we're just going to pop in. I mean, when we first learned how to access the Akashic Records, it was during the pandemic. So we had tons of time.
Yeah, we didn't have much else going on.
So it was a really great time to really experiment and learn a lot about working with the Akashic Records. So that was our, entrance into it. And it always seemed like it was 3 hours. It was like we'd ask questions about whatever. And then it was like, how did 3 hours just go by?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that we would laugh. We got to the point where we just laughed about it. Like, of course, it's been 3 hours. Hey, we're going to go to the records real quick. Well, do we have 3 hours?
But it's not like you're not conscious of time. It's just if you get into it, get into your flow state, then time can go by really fast.
Oh, totally. And like I'm relaying information and recording it, sometimes on paper, but quite often like in a Google Doc. The clock is right there on my screen and I won't even notice it, or I won't register that, whoa, that much time has slipped by.
Yeah. So if you're short on time, I would recommend setting an alarm.
Yes. That is a pro tip right there. If you're going to go to the records and you don't have much time, set an alarm, something that will pull you back to the human linear time, your consciousness, and you become aware and know, okay, time to log off.
Yeah, this next one was really cool too, I feel like.
Completely unexpected for me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, take us there.
And that is clarity all around. I mean, literally, my vision gets sharper when I enter into the records. When I allow this higher state of consciousness within my being, my vision sharpens, hearing gets a little crisper. Breathing, your air passages kind of open up and become more efficient, and you're able to use oxygen more efficiently. And it just feels good.
Yeah. Your metabolism has sped up just a touch. Your body is operating more efficiently, and you're experiencing that with your vision, with your hearing, with those deep breaths just seem to go way further and energized even more. It feels good.
I mean,
totally.
You would have better vision without your glasses in the records. Is that correct?
Since we've been working in the records, the last time I went and got my new prescription to get a pair of glasses like a year ago, it was actually slightly better than it was like 3 years before that when I got my prescription for my glasses.
That's so cool.
So, I mean, my vision has actually improved literally in the physical world a bit. Not hugely, but it's to the point now from working in the records where I often have to take my glasses off. I don't wear them when I'm in the records, but like I can see my
your
far-sighted
not
vision
super strong anyway.
Is better. And I'm at the point now that I can't really wear my glasses at any time if I'm trying to do anything up close. Now it's at that point where I don't need them anymore.
That's
to
so cool.
Cook, to be on the computer, to watch TV from short distances, I don't need that. I really wear my glasses just to drive, just to give me that super crisp. I can read all the signs and see everything really far ahead. I mean, that's pretty much what my glasses are for now. Yeah, my vision it's improved in my physical world from being in the record so much. It has shifted my physicality.
That's very cool.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention too for me is this feeling of clarity, not just in a physical sense, but also like mentally. I feel the truth, and I expect that I'm getting the truth when I'm in the Akashic Records anyways, but there's a feeling that comes with it. And it's one of the things that we're going to be talking to our students about is, why we set up certain questions when we're first getting into the records to feel the truth, like things that the answer to. So you can feel the vibration of the truth because your mind already knows, and then you can start to associate that feeling with something you already know. And like developing that feeling of that, it hits me like in my high heart when it's like, boom, I just get this like little, almost light, energetic tap. And it's that, for me, I associate it with the body, mind, soul of truth, of connection right there. And I just get this feeling, and I can feel it in my high heart. It just is. I hope that's coming across to you. It's tough to articulate.
I feel like you did a really good job of articulating that.
Well, cool. because
For me, I feel like it's an overall body feeling. It's like my body just rejects it if it's, if I like read something on Facebook and I'm like, that can't be true. And then, of course, I spend way too much time trying to fact check, but
yeah, there's a lot on Facebook that should be fact checked.
that's why I try not to spend much time on Facebook. And I've actually gotten to the point that most of my Facebook feed is like cute animals, like adorable that little tapir.
Oh my goodness, and the snoring baby elephant and
Oh,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah. Oh,
at
that
least half
cuddle.
my
Oh my
feed.
gosh, those cuddling elephants.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and the fox, the little fox family.
All showing up on that back porch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, half my
adorable.
feed's adorable little animals too. That's what I'm liking and sharing and stuff at times. Yeah.
I'm like, you think that you're shaping me? I am molding you.
Take that, Meta. So the next thing I'd like to bring up is we've been talking about feelings and sensations, but my literal feelings, my emotions, tend to stay on the range of a positive spectrum. Even when we're doing research for, a soul journey reading and I'm into past lives and it may not be all positive experiences that I'm in the middle of researching to gain some information on what went down. I still have this range of this just is. This is good information to relay. Like I just don't really get into any sort of anxiety or fear, even when I'm researching stuff from my past that was traumatic. And I'm diving into that and feeling underneath the feelings and looking for root causes of things. I just find that I stay more in that kind of a deep peacefulness or a unconditional love type of feeling, if you will. And with this kind of spectrum of positivity, it's just, like I said, this deep peacefulness, this acceptance for what is for all souls and their experiences. I just stay in this positive range and it's really comforting and really nice. And I didn't know what to expect when we first started, researching and entering the records a lot. But now I know going to the records is going to be in this range of experience that peacefulness and acceptance and unconditional love are going to rule the day.
I find that to be very true for me as well. And that is even true when I might be a tad grumpy, like prior to. I mean, there is a threshold though. It's like if I'm feeling extra grumpy and I can't focus to do all of the grounding work and the clearing exercises before, then I won't make it to the records. But if I can really calm myself down, calm my body down, and get that grounding and focus to actually make it through the entire process, which doesn't take that long. But, sometimes your emotions get the best of you. But
yeah, it's like 3 to 5 minutes. Let's just say 5 minutes long. But yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes I'm just kind of in that state too, where
if your mind's
I can't focus. My mind's spinning out of control and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And I need to take a moment. I need to go walk. I need to get outside and breathe some fresh air and,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But if I'm in that state and I can't focus for the entire grounding process, then obviously I don't travel to the records. But if I can ground myself and focus to the point of making it completely through, then it always boosts my mood. I mean, my mood is boost no matter where I start from, but even when I may start off on the lower end of the emotional spectrum, it always, if I can just keep that focus, then it is a humongous boost to your emotional state. And then, of course, I leave the records and it's like I'm flying high on higher emotions. It's like a workout. Like you can go into a workout feeling, kind of, or life, it's getting the best of me, but, you leave the workout feeling proud of yourself or feeling like you gained something, and it's always like that.
Dopamine pumping through the body after a workout. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good way. I mean, we're talking about neurotransmitters and chemicals in the brain, like dopamine after a physical workout, but it is kind of that way with the records. I am always up-leveled on the emotional vibration, spectrum, no matter where I start from. spending that time in that kind of peacefulness and unconditional love. And this is why, like, connecting to the records and learning how to be in your own soul's energy really does help with a deeper connection to your own spirituality, to really boost if you're having low self-esteem or self-worth issues. This really does help with those, and you may not go in thinking, I need help with my self-worth, but it really does bring that more connecting with all that you are, with that energy saying, hey, it's all good. You're okay. We're learning here. Let's take these steps. Let's move forward. You came because you're brave, because you're strong, because your divine birthright is self-love.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. And I also feel like that is true because of the subconscious programming. The clearings are meant to be a positive subconscious programming to help you not take on negative thought forms or emotional residue from others, or just be flat out conditioned completely by the outside world. It's about bringing it inside and knowing where your inner intelligence is.
Oh, yeah, that inner wisdom. Yeah.
And so I feel like those grounding exercises, on top of being able to access this universal wisdom, really does help with confidence and self-worth issues.
Yeah, that was totally unexpected for me to feel better about myself in those ways, from being in the records and, learning the things I've learned and going through the awareness and just going through the feels, just connecting to the depth of who I am on a grand scale. What's the plan for my grand I am? Connecting there over and over again has really totally just altered my own level of self-respect, of confidence, of self-worth, of knowing what I'm deserving of. And
feeling it.
Yes, there it is. Feeling the truth of it. That vibration, just, you know it when you know it, and it just hits deep within you.
And you are such a beautiful soul.
Oh, thanks, baby. You're a miraculous being. And if you're hearing our voices right now, we feel the same way about you.
Yes.
Amazing souls, brave for being here, bringing your unique vibration and shining your light on earth right now, laughing, playing, giggling, bringing joy, and all those other things you could be feeling. But you came for this experience, and it's an honor to share our knowledge and experience with you and to have this time. I love you. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, and if any of this is resonating and you're looking to have if you enjoy putting together puzzle pieces for your life and you are looking to have your own experiences on the Akashic Records, we would love to have you join us in our class starting on March 13th, 3/13. So excited. I think this is probably the most excited I've ever been to work. I mean, I don't really see it as work, but I'm so excited to be able to guide people to their own soul records, to be able to really just guide people in creating magic in their own life.
Yeah, empowering another soul to not need anyone else. That was something I didn't realize.
Well, I mean, you need relationships and guidance.
As far as, I don't know what's going on in my world, I can't figure this out. Oh, I have the skill set to tap into my soul's record and figure this out. That's what I mean by empowering for your own higher awareness or perspective. I was someone who always sought out healers and other people to help me figure things out. And getting guidance is wonderful and good. But now I feel like I can do so much of that on my own. It's still nice to work with other people from time to time. I mean, it's just beautiful to share in energy and space
that you may not be aware of, when you're working with someone else.
I just have so much more confidence that I can get down to the nitty-gritty of my own life now and dive in. Yeah. If you're interested, there will be a link in the episode notes, or hit an email. Tell us you are, and I'll send you some more information and we can connect that way.
Yeah, and if you aren't sure if it's right for you or not, reach out and we would love to meet you and talk to you and just see if it is right for you. We want to work with people that it's right for. We definitely don't want to pull people on this journey if that's not right for them.
No, it's about our souls aligning and knowing that we're meant for this journey together.
Yeah, and if you're just looking for more information, then, you can get on the website and you can just click the courses button, in the navigation bar, and it'll take you to a page that talks all about it.
Totally.
But reach out. We'd love to talk to you.
And this isn't the only time we're going to do this. So if you're hearing this show and it's past March 13th, know that we're going to be teaching accessing the Akashic Records and dropping Reiki attunements to the energy of the records and introducing you to spirit guides on other occasions. This is going to be something that becomes a flagship for us, if you will, is teaching.
Yeah, we're being very called towards that.
All right, I had a lot of fun talking about my feelings and sensations and the vibes I get in the records.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I love talking about the records.
We will see y'all next week. Until then, take care.
Have a wonderful day.
Hey, soul friends. Thanks for listening to today's show. If you've been resonating with our podcast, Emily and I would be honored if you would share this episode with a friend. Or even better, share this episode on your socials and tag us at Soul Vibe Insights so we can connect with more amazing, like-minded souls just like yourself. Have a great day.